A booming economy, rising wages, and according to the most recent jobs report, the lowest unemployment rate in nearly 50 years.
A lot of factors point to this being a prosperous time for American workers. But you know what? A big disparity exists between the top and the bottom of working Americans. For example, during the government shutdown this year, a study by the economic advocacy group Prosperity Now found that 4 out of 10 Americans would fall into poverty by missing just one paycheck.
And if you have tight margins like that, it's a no-brainer here to go cruising for bargains when you are in the grocery store or department store even. But what if those discounts come at the expense of the person stocking the shelves?
The 9 on Your Side I-team spent weeks combing through pay disclosures that public companies are required to make at this time every year.
And investigative reporter Dan Monk dug through the numbers to learn why median pay for retailers often falls below the federal poverty line.
These two people work in the same building. Both owe their jobs to the Kroger Company. The grocery chain CEO, Rodney McMullen, made $11.7 million last year. Clary Ann Hayes makes $9.25 an hour.
It's a good starting pay, but it's nothing to really balance life with at the moment.
Hayes is a cashier at Vine Street Cafe, which is operated by Kroger contractor AVI Food Systems.
Some days it could be a bit of a struggle due to the fact that I am using the bus to get my son to daycare, also taking the bus to get to work.
Hayes is one of an estimated 1.6 million Ohioans who earn less than poverty wages. Thousands of local retail workers might be in the same boat based on new disclosures that companies are now required to make to investors. This is the second year that U.S. companies have been required to tell shareholders how much their median employee makes compared to the CEO. Because companies make lots of assumptions to arrive at their median pay estimate, experts caution against making too much of the numbers. But this much is clear. The man in the middle at many retail companies isn't making enough to support a family. Kroger's median pay, the midpoint of all of its salaries, was $188 below the 2018 National Poverty Guideline for a family of 4. Macy's median pay was even lower. It's comparable to the median pay at Walmart and Target, and it's nearly double the median at Kohl's and TJ Maxx.
Macy's alone hires over 30,000 seasonal and part-time workers just to cover the holiday rush.
Holly Mazaka is a wealth advisor who follows this topic for her clients at Bartlett Wealth Management downtown.
I think that's an important item to consider, is that this also looks at part-time employees or people who maybe would not be able to receive employment elsewhere. So Kroger especially works really hard to help first-time workers, those high schoolers who have a really difficult time finding a job anywhere else.
Jessica Wright is Director of Employer Engagement at Cincinnati Works, which helps entry-level workers find and keep jobs. She says local employers already do a lot to combat poverty by creating jobs, training and promoting workers, and contributing to charity. But they could do more.
If we're hiring entry-level individuals, that maybe don't have the skill set that you're looking for, how can we train them and how can we get them what they need so that they can earn a more livable wage, and they can produce more. And I definitely think that's something, an area that companies need to look at.
That sounds good to Clary Ann Hayes.
I would like to go back to school. I would like if at some point the job that I'm actually currently in, if they'll be willing to offer me more pay.
In SEC filings like this one, retailers explain how a part-time and seasonal workforce can impact their median pay numbers. Beyond that, Kroger says it spent more than $500 million last year on employee training and increased wages. Macy's says it pays for performance and spent $44 million last year on store employee bonuses. Dan Monk, 9 on Your Side.